Yo, welcome back to the Pipebomb Podcast. I am your host, Josmanni Sanchez. I'm so glad to be back with you guys this week. I've got my Jey to my Jey Uso, as always, Alex Maldonado, and I've got, actually, at one point was the Randy Orton to my John Cena, if you know what I mean, Jey Olivera. So we're super stoked to be with you guys another week. We just have Smackdown and Raw to cover after a crazy weekend of Mania a couple weeks ago. We're kind of now like decompressing. We're back to just the two shows. We're chilling. So we're excited to get into a few things today. Alex, what do we have on the docket this week?
The docket, man. Well, the docket is actually quite stacked, if you ask me. We're gonna do the fan favorite, guess the action figure segment. So, just let me get you started. We're gonna get straight into it right here. First hint is that this wrestler has one of the best nicknames of all time.
Ooh,
interesting. I like that.
Iconic nickname.
Iconic nickname. It could be Rated R Superstar. Yeah, there's a lot of nicknames. What are some of the most iconic ones that you could think of though?
You mean like a nickname in their like official name, pretty much?
No. Like
Seth freaking Rollins. That's an official nickname or
I
something?
mean that could be one, but this nickname is iconic.
The Rated R Superstar.
Iconic. Sorry.
Not one of the iconics. I doubt you have them.
It's our time. It's got to be around our time. What were some dope nicknames?
Jeff Hardy, Charismatic Enigma. You got
That's a good one.
There's a lot. My head's got too many right now.
Yeah, this is a good first hint. I feel like the second hint's really gonna kind of help us narrow it down with this nickname one, because we know a good amount of nicknames, but I feel like we need just like a little bit of like a narrow it down in our minds a little bit, because I mean, going through years and years of wrestlers. Let's go for the second hint.
Okay. This person has never main evented WrestleMania.
Main evented WrestleMania. Edge didn't he?
Yeah, against Roman recently. I think it's gonna depend on ever main evented WrestleMania. These are good hints, but they're like so.
Still a lot of people. Yeah.
Ray's main evented.
What's Ray's nickname?
Roman has
619.
No, Ray doesn't have an iconic nickname. It can't be
Booyaka. Wouldn't say it's a nickname.
Kind of stumped here. There are not many, especially in the last 11 years. Not many people have main evented. Shout out to Roman.
Fair enough. Unless they were against Roman.
Right.
You want to go for the third one?
Go for the third one.
All right, let's go for the third one.
Ready? Just going for it? This person has won the Royal Rumble.
Okay, so they won the Royal Rumble, never main evented WrestleMania. A big nickname.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's see. Let's go down Rumble winners. We got Sheamus. We got The Undertaker. He's main evented.
Has he?
Shawn Michaels has main evented. Did he?
Yeah.
No. Maybe.
Shawn?
Yes.
Against Taker, no?
No.
That in a main event?
That was famously not the main event. Had to follow up. Triple H is main evented. He's won. CM Punk has won the Royal Rumble, and he hasn't won the Royal Rumble. Did you have an Alberto Del Rio figure? He doesn't have.
He does. He definitely does. What was his nickname though?
Now it's El Patron, but I don't think he had one back then.
Nah.
He had a dope ring announcer.
He did. He had his own ring announcer.
Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble, did a main event.
Think back. Yeah, I wasn't locked into the Royal Rumble back then.
Certainly not one winner. 2004, I'll tell you that. Batista.
The Animal, wasn't that his nickname?
Yeah, I'm headed towards Batista. He won the Rumble in 05. I don't think he main evented.
Randy Orton has main evented?
Unified against Triple H.
Chris Benoit.
That's the 2004 winner. I don't know if you guys had him.
He might have. What was it? Does he have a nickname?
He does.
What is it?
He does. He has a couple.
Mad-
Rabid Wolverine, the Crippler.
I know. Obviously, yeah.
All
Brock.
right, one more hint. If I ask who?
Brock is definitely main evented.
Brock has won and main evented. There's not many that haven't main evented. Jey Uso? You don't have a Jey Uso.
Oh.
It might
No,
be
he-
main event Jey Uso. Won the Rumble, didn't main event. That's where I'm headed.
What about Bret the Hitman Hart?
He's main evented. You guys had a Bret Hart?
I think so, yeah. Stone Cold is definitely main evented.
Could be Vince.
What's his?
Vince won a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, what was the nickname though?
Mr. McMahon.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Vince or
think
Batista. What do you think? Neither.
I don't. He said like famous nickname, like the animal. Like I don't think that's like a famous like. It could be Jimmy. I don't think he has a Jimmy figure though.
Nah, Jay. It would be Jay.
Sorry, Jay.
Drew McIntyre. Do you have? He doesn't have a nickname.
No.
Damn.
The chosen one.
I don't know. We got to pick one though.
I'm gonna say Batista.
You want to go Batista?
Could be Drew. Drew main evented.
Against Brock, right? In the pandemic era?
Let's
Was that the main
go.
event? Come on, Joe. Get in your bag, Joe. Get in your Duffy.
I want to go. That's the thing though. They've all. Ooh, Ric Flair. He's main evented. Right?
I don't know. I'm sticking. I'm
Let's-
gonna say Drew McIntyre.
All right, I'm gonna go Batista
Okay.
just because he
Drew
hasn't
McIntyre and Batista?
been. Yeah.
We got the Heartbreak Kid. Shawn Michaels in here.
I felt like he
Shawn.
didn't main event. Yeah, that was where
Yeah.
my gut was at first.
The heart.
I had to double check to make sure he didn't main event. At first, I was going to give you 2-time Royal Rumble winner.
I would have
But-
narrowed it down. There's not many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Batista was a
Randy,
2-time.
Shawn,
Batista won
Austin.
it 2 times. So I was thinking about it, but I wanted to stump you guys this episode. So
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Make it hard. One
For
day
sure.
we'll get it right.
Yeah, we should have. I honestly forgot you had already said Shawn Michaels. I low-key, because I guess I thought he main evented, so it just was.
yeah,
It
I
just
thought he
was
main
gone.
evented too. I had to make sure.
Best of all time, you would think so, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania.
For sure.
So
Anywho.
should we just get right into the to the recaps?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you wanna
Alright.
run us through SmackDown?
I can do that.
You can hit the
All
high
right,
notes.
so open the show. John Cena comes out. Then we get Randy Orton. This is like nostalgia just hitting us. I believe I've heard somebody say it's like a Twilight Zone. Like the roles are flipped.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about this encounter? Just being the opposite of what we've seen our whole childhood. Is it a good dynamic? What do we think about the match? Do you think the match will produce and be good? What do you guys think?
Historically, so I actually have a stat that after Joe goes, I'll have to find it. I have their exact record against each other, and it's gonna surprise you guys very often.
I think
Very much.
the only thing that's a little funky about it is that John Cena is not as good a heel as he is a babyface, and Orton is not as good a babyface as he is a heel. Does that make sense? So like, I feel like we're getting robbed. Not robbed, but it feels like this could be so much more if they're in there like what they're
What they
used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
What we've
cool.
seen
It's
nine
cool
times.
that it's flipped and it's interesting and there's a lot of like funny things that you could do. But it just feels like Randy Orton is notoriously one of the greatest heels of all time, in my opinion. And John Cena is arguably, probably not even really arguably the best babyface of all time. So it's
that's
like
1 and 2 all time.
for sure. So it's like it's hard to have them flip now because like they're not their fullest self. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It switches it up for them though. You could
sure.
really see that they're having a lot of fun. I found it funny how was it John that said to Randy, "How could you do this to me?" Or Randy that said it to John.
I think Randy said it to John. I think
they've been through so much that what is going on right now seems like not even an argument. Like he's kicked his dad in the head.
Yeah.
They've done some things, man. Like Randy and John is a rivalry, and when he said, "How could you do this to me?" I'm over here like,
bro, what?
Man, let's get to the action. But it was a great segment. I like how Randy came at him about the family, and then John's rebuttal. How can you parent shame? I like the John Cena playing the victim a lot. It's fitting him very well.
John Cena did a good job. He did a good job, like I think he pointed out like just this dad in the crowd, and he just like every like 2 minutes he would just go back to attacking his dad and his kid, and it was just it was so funny to me. I love seeing that from John. I hope we see more of that from John.
Another thing that I noticed, I haven't heard anybody talk about it yet, but it's funny now how older in life Randy Orton, who was the legend killer, is the one trying to preserve the legacy and the legend of the WWE Championship. And now John Cena's over here telling him, I'm going to kill 3 generations of Ortons. I'm going to kill a lifetime of WWE. I'm a big fan of this flip because we would have seen the same thing we saw year after year after year. They used to repeat it at least once or twice a year when I was a kid. So I like this flip.
I guess what I want to see a little bit more out of John is like, I get it. Your whole heel turn is like against the crowd and against like us. But like, go at your person that you're setting up your match with. You know what I mean? Like, go more at Orton, go more at Randy, and stop like turning to the crowd. You know what I mean? Like in the crowd, like, oh, you know. I like the line of like when Randy was talking about like having a kid. He's like, I don't want to have a kid because I've been raising yours for 25 years.
Yeah, no, that was
so like, you know, and that was a good like to the crowd. That was a good like oof, like ouch. But like he keeps like walking away from the promo battle and going to the crowd instead of like, okay, if you're gonna bring somebody out and stand in the ring and cut a promo, cut one at each other, and if you want to do one at the crowd, then don't have anybody else come out. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that changes with this rivalry. He was doing that a lot to Cody Rhodes, but this is week 1 of the build. I think Randy's gonna, since he is the babyface, we're not gonna get John Cena every week, so we're gonna get a lot of Randy calling out John. Hopefully John Cena pulls what he used to hate and he like pulls up via satellite. He used to call The Rock out for.
Yeah. I think I've been seeing the clip go around where Randy was like losing a match to John and he hit the ref to DQ himself.
Oh my goodness, one of my favorite finishes.
Bro,
I was so mad.
Bro, I need that to happen, low key. Like Randy,
like
the crowd, like the crowd is getting into it.
Louis?
I don't know about in St. Louis.
Wow. Nah, I would love it. I like
no,
that.
St. Louis would be bold.
Because you can't riot type of crowd and you do the worst type of possible outcome.
Well, also, do we want to see Randy Orton get pinned in front of his home crowd? You feel me? Like,
no,
there's zero chance Randy Orton.
You know, Randy can't win that though. John has to go through December. People were saying that.
Not December.
You don't think he loses the title?
I think he retires a babyface. No, he's gonna lose the title and he's gonna have like maybe his last month or so. Like the nostalgia run, the you can't see me. I love.
Maybe I don't know. I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see what he's saying he's gonna do right now. Retire with that belt. I kind of want to see it.
I don't want Thursday to be gone, man. That's.
Because like it just makes perfect sense. I just think the timing of it all, it just makes perfect sense that they keep using this verbiage of new era. This new era has started. This new era is becoming this. Seth is using it. You know, like the company's using it. This new era, new era, new era. It would be so beautiful to have John, and John even, mentioned it, him retire with the belt. That's the last piece of their era. And then you let him retire with it.
Piece of his era, really. That's just what he's saying as a character. That's a belt that
True.
Roman Reigns held for 1,000 years. That Seth Rollins cashed in on at WrestleMania. That Daniel Bryan.
But if
finally
they're
won
ushering
that
into a new era, then it would be
Mania.
it would be like, especially because it's not even just a new era, because we've had the Attitude Era, we've had, we've had all these eras, right? But this is a new era in the sense of like, this is the first time Vince is not running the show, ever, ever. So this is like a new era as an organization, not necessarily in the content that we're producing. You feel me? So like, if John can take the belt that started the WWE, the belt's been through all of like the legendary Hall of Famers that have held that belt, that were all under Vince, would be poetic that now ends in Triple H, not necessarily Triple H, but this new organization, this new kind of regime of execs and whatnot, create a new belt that ushers us into the new age. You feel me? I don't know. Me personally would be down for it, but I know a lot of people would probably disagree.
Yeah,
I would be very upset.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it's a debate to me, and I'm a little bit more in the middle between the two. I want to see Cena retire as a babyface, so I can get like that little nostalgia kick. And then just seeing him do what he's gonna do, I think it's just so Cena. He's a man of his word. This is gonna be his. I don't think he's gonna have any matches. Everybody always says, "Oh, there's always one last match." No, I believe Cena. He's a man of his word. Okay, this is his retirement tour. It's a big deal for a reason. But one thing I do want to get into is somebody pointed out how Cena took a bump 2 times to Cody before Mania, and he's already fallen twice to Randy Orton. So that's 4 times Cena has fallen. Does Cena look strong to you guys? Like, how do you feel Cena looks when he's taking all these RKOs and he's taking all these crossroads and he's not standing tall?
Well, I think that for the first time ever, we don't need to see a super Cena. We've seen that forever. So now he's embracing the dark side. Now he's using Travis Scott to win. He used his last 2 wins. Let's think about it. Elimination Chamber. He had help from Seth Rollins when he hit CM Punk. Then he took the advantage, tapped him out. His win after that was help from Travis Scott. So his last 2 wins, he hasn't been powerful. He's been relying on outside interference, which his whole career, hustle, loyalty, respect, he turned down outside interference. So I think that, it works because you can let him take the bumps and shenanigans will happen. He's going to kick Randy in the nuts or something. He's going to find a way to win. He doesn't have to be stronger.
For sure. Heels don't win clean, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it just makes perfect sense. But no, this Cena's not supposed to look overpowered. But he's going to do what it takes to win, which is not necessarily babyface, which is what we saw with Cody Rhodes.
Well, he told Cody, I don't have to wrestle you to beat you.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. So
before we move on, I do want to tell you guys something I've been waiting all week to tell you guys. Their record combined, they've been in across the ring from each other 257 times.
Yeesh.
Now, those aren't one-on-one. Those could be tag teams, whatever. So we can skip over that one. We can go to one-on-one matches. They've been in 121 singles matches. What do you think their record is together?
I think John has won 96.
What do you think, Alex?
I think Orton has won like 78.
Okay, so out of 121 singles matches, there has been 1 draw, 99 John Cena wins, and 21 Randy Orton wins.
Wow. It's
How much
because
you say, Joe?
I said 96.
96. He was super close. But listen, pay-per-view, 26 total pay-per-view matches. That's kind of insane. That's over a year of just straight pay-per-view matches.
It's 2 years.
2 years, yeah. John Cena 17-9 against Randy Orton.
It's because Randy Orton is heel. The heel doesn't the heel can win, but that's not out of 120, the heel's not gonna win, more than
under Vince, that heel never got the last laugh. Never.
John Cena should definitely bring up how this isn't even a rivalry. He's like, bro, how is this a rivalry? I've beat you 99 times. It's gonna be my 100th victory against you.
If he did that,
number 100,
and won via disqualification, I really like the fact that you guys brought up him winning via disqualification. I think it can.
Sure.
No, it would be Randy would win.
Well, yeah, but Cena would still get the title.
It would count Randy's wins.
Randy would win, but Cena retains.
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
be
that's what I
Cena's
mean.
100th though.
I
wouldn't be
love
Cena
that.
100. But if
It
Cena,
sets up a trilogy.
yeah, but if Cena maybe gets Randy to DQ himself on accident or whatnot, that could be
play into
Cena's
his anger.
100th.
Yeah,
and
like I fantasy booked. What if we ban the punt kick, or it ends up using the punt kick,
True.
gets him disqualified? Yeah, I think that's perfect.
that'd be
That's
lit.
cooking.
Yeah. So that was fun. I definitely like seeing the record. Thank you for bringing that up, Jay. We had a debut on SmackDown. Well, we had a return. We also had a debut. Fraxium put
Yeah,
on a banger
Baby.
for
of a
sure.
match with Los Garzas. I love Fraxium. I think they're the best NXT Tag Team Champions of all time.
And now they're the best team on SmackDown.
They
See,
might be.
I kind of wish their debut was against a different tag team. I really do
Yeah.
not
I think
vibe
it was
with.
perfect.
Well, they had to win. They had to win.
That's fair. That's fair. They definitely had to win.
Like, I would have loved to seen them go against Pretty Deadly. Oh, I thought that would have been amazing. But I didn't want to see Pretty Deadly lose. And I think Los Garzas can take a loss because they always lose. And then you also had the ladder match, so it's not like they had a lot of teams open up here. But
True.
No, but Joe, wait till you see a little bit more of Fraxium. This team's gonna make some noise in this division.
for sure.
The fact that they
so-
went to SmackDown is crazy.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
but you
like,
gotta-
come on,
you gotta-
bro.
You gotta, if you're calling them up, you can't have them go learn from that division. You gotta go have them hoop with the Hoopers.
Well, not even hoop with the Hoopers, but like you're adding. I mean, it's the most entertaining because the SmackDown tag division is stacked. But like, you need to buff up. When are we just not going to care about the Raw tag team division? We're just going to leave it
No, you have
drowning.
to buff it, but when it's something sensitive like NXT call-ups who have historically not done well, especially tag teams being called up from NXT, we've only had DIY that's really done well in the main roster. I would say I'd have to look into that, but Fraxium, man, they held the NXT tag titles for over a year. They were putting on banger after banger they didn't even have a division to put on bangers with, and they were
Sure.
didn't.
No, they're gonna
way to
cook.
do it.
They're gonna cook here in SmackDown. It's gonna be lit. It's just
I
getting
think they're the
crowded.
best team on SmackDown.
Just getting a little
They're
crowded.
the best team in the company already.
It's I don't know. I like Street Profits.
Yeah.
As
God,
characters,
dude.
wait till you see Axiom and Nathan Frazier in the ring.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, so it's just so fast. It's just like my eyes can't keep up with how fast Nathan Frazier's going from rope to rope. It's like it's insane.
And
but,
Axiom is putting on for Spain, the only Spaniard wrestlers we have in the.
yeah,
His
world. We
mask
got
is dope.
UK and Spain together.
His mask
Yeah.
is dope for sure.
and his finish was pretty dope too. His entrance used to be dope. It used to be like blurry. His entrance used to be so sick when he was.
You know who's under the mask, Alex?
It's like 1, 2.
You have you're gonna say 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1, 2, 3 kid, but
No,
that's
it's a kid. It's a kid.
A kid. Okay. Yeah. But Fraxium's so sick. They're gonna be sick on SmackDown. Wish they were on Raw. Because honestly, if they were on Raw, I would just give them the titles and then just let them have a reign. Oh my gosh. It would be amazing. But Fraxium's sick. Love them. Next we had Tiffany Stratton promo with Jade Cargill coming out. Fooled me. Thought we were gonna get Tiffy versus Jade. Thought Tiffy was about to lose her title. And then we were getting that match that night. Everything just happened so fast. We got that match for free. And then Nia Jax came out and Naomi doing her little punches.
That was so dumb.
Not too.
That was so dumb.
I saw that. I just cringed. I didn't know how I felt.
It was
about that,
cringe.
but how'd you feel about this segment? Nia Jax returning to no pop.
They're saying that that it's a good matchup for Tiffany because Tiffany never beat Nia clean. She took the belt off the Money in the Bank, but is that something we need to see right now?
I personally am not a Nia Jax fan at all.
Filler feud.
I think
she's gotten significally better.
She has.
I'm still not a fan, but
She's
she has
still
gotten
the
significantly
queen.
better.
She's still the queen of botched moves. Like she's so stiff. She's just power. Power. Her finisher's the lamest finisher I've ever seen, bro.
It's Yokozuna.
She can't even. But she can't even actually like sit on them. Like she has to like.
No, but she hurts people when she does that move. That's the thing. Yoko didn't.
It's just
Yeah.
I am a firm Nia Jax, just like unbeliever, hater, whatever. I do not like her at all. I do not care to see her even in the WWE. Hot take. It is what it is.
She got fired and came back. So I will say she was better when she came back. She got significantly better. But there's so much like more to do with Tiffy. We've already seen this. We've seen that.
And so Naomi and Jade
she just beat
done.
Charlotte.
I'd rather see her feud with Naomi, and I've been hating on Naomi than.
But like, so we're saying Naomi and Jade aren't done, bro. Like, I really just want to leave that at Mania, bro. I really do not care to see this drag on.
Yeah, I do not want to see it drag on anymore.
They're holding out for Bianca. They're gonna run that until they get that Bianca match, which isn't gonna happen at Mania. So I'm thinking SummerSlam, maybe.
Well, I think Bianca's out for a little bit. I heard now
with her wrist,
her finger hand injury. So it's a little unfortunate, but wasn't the best segment. It wasn't the worst, but I guess we get to see Nia Jax back, which is kind of a loss. But anyways, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa doing his little mic work, kind of taking credit for everything that Jacob Fatu has, and Jacob Fatu it wasn't rocking with it. Also had a Raiders jersey.
Yeah.
Old man.
That was pretty sick. I like that outfit from Jacob Fatu, but
Fatu's from
Oakland?
from Oakland. He was just on Jeff Teague's podcast, and he was kind of talking about it a little bit. And so, when he came out in the Raiders jersey, I was like, that's kind of sick.
Yeah.
Sure. What I mean?
With the shites.
Yeah, but Solo basically saying he's kind of spitting facts. Solo was not lying at all.
True. He wasn't.
He's not lying. He was like, the family wanted to stay away from Jacob. He was kind of the black sheep. I took him in. I brought him in. He's saying he's the reason he won the U.S. title. And you see Jacob Fatu might be the scariest man alive. Top 5 at least, man.
He's pretty scary.
Top 5.
Gotta bring him to the 100 men versus the 1 gorilla fight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm bringing Jacob Fatu, bro. off the top rope.
Take on moonsault on the ground.
Yeah, moonsault off the top rope.
We might need 3 gorillas for Fatu.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, awesome segment. LA Knight comes out, and you think that Fatu and LA Knight are gonna run it back. Maybe we see a triple threat. Then we see Drew McIntyre.
No.
Then we see Drew McIntyre come out. And so, this all just gets kind of chaotic. And so, tell me what your guys' thoughts on the segment is. That this means a lot for the mid card. I think with Cody's going to take some time off. Cena being a part-timer, that the U.S. title is kind of going to take that next step for SmackDown, since there's not going to be – the title may not be there as much, and there's not going to be Cody. So we're going to see a lot of the mid card here. And we still have guys like Rey Fenix and Damian Priest, Carmelo Hayes. Now we have Aleister Black.
Chad Gable.
So
Rey Fenix, who's a singles guy now.
Yeah, Rey Fenix. So just tell me what you guys think about this segment and what it means for the U.S. title and for the U.S. title going forward. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Alex. Like you said, it has to carry the show now. So I think that the number one thing you have to do is stop letting your stars who have nothing to do right now, stop being scared to let them compete in the mid card. Look at Drew McIntyre. It's gonna bring prestige to that mid card. Now you have him mixing it up with Jacob and LA Knight and all these other people, and it's gonna bring eyes to that division, because now other people are gonna follow suit. There's people that are sitting around like, hey, maybe even a Cody, if he comes back and has nothing to do, let him squabble up a little bit. Just don't be afraid to go for the mid card title. Add some prestige to it.
Facts, because our top is it's getting crowded up there, right? And we only have 2 world titles. So it's not everybody can feud with Jey or John, and especially John. John, we've already got it laid out. We got to run through. We got to feud with Randy. Then I assume we have to feud with CM Punk, and we've already got things. Yeah, we got things lined up. We got to hit all the stops on the way on his retirement tour, right? So that belt is occupied. Yeah, that belt is occupied. Okay, and then the heavyweight, only one person can go for it. Maybe 2 can go for it at a time. So it's getting pretty crowded at the top. So we need, I think, to add some prestige to these mid cards. I think this is a great opportunity to even kind of bolster Jacob Fatu even more, especially if he gets a win under his belt against like a Drew McIntyre, like beating some of the top guys. I think can also add just a little bit of star power to Fatu's name, because I eventually, at some point, it doesn't have to be this year, doesn't have to be next year, but I want to see Jacob Fatu with a world heavyweight title. Personally.
Oh yeah. So I think more so with Jey Uso's title, since a lot of people hate on Jey Uso's in-ring ability, I want to see more multi-man matches, because I think the last multi-man match we got for a world title was, I think it was last year's Royal Rumble, where it was Roman, Owens, Randy, and Styles. I think that was the last one. I could be wrong, but I kind of want to see that with Jey. It takes pressure off Jey in the ring and stuff like that. And I know we're not talking about Raw right now, so I'll try not to get too much into it. But you were kind of just saying how the main event card is kind of stacked right now. So I definitely want to see them launch Jacob Fatu, like strap a rocket to his back and just let him go crazy. Give him a mic, give him 15 minutes in the ring, and call it a night, man. And it'll be match of the night.
You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah, he really carries himself so well.
Dude,
he
so
feels
well.
So relatable, like someone you've met, someone you know.
I like his emote after whenever he does something, just he shake his dreads and just like look around.
Or when he just like moves his dreads, I just like, dude, he's an animal, bro.
Yeah,
like,
him and Io Sky. Just the Io Sky, she points at herself and smiles.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. Next up, we had a title change. We had Zelina Vega taking the title off Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's reign was a little lackluster. Loved her winning the title at first. Thought it was great for her character, but Zelina Vega, I love Zelina Vega. I think she's top 5 women's wrestler on the mic. I think she's great on the mic. I think she's great in the ring. I think she's awesome, man. So I really am excited to see Zelina Vega's title reign. It's just the women's mid card is just not, at least on SmackDown, it's just not where it needs.
Is there only 3 people in that division?
Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green, and Michin?
Yeah.
BFAB?
We saw Michin and Chelsea Green for like 4 weeks straight, and then Chelsea Green won every week. And then we saw Zelina Vega lose like 3 weeks straight. And then back to Michin. Now Zelina Vega finally wins. And I go on Twitter, the first thing I open up is Michin, quote, retweeted it with the eyes emoji. I'm like, man, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? I don't want to say I love. I like Zelina Vega. I loved Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, the longest reigning women's United States champion ever. She's also the only non-American United States women's champion ever. So she covered a lot of the check marks. I think she's the greatest women's United States champion ever. So
I mean, yeah, she's held the title longest and whatnot. So she's also wrestled Penta.
Yeah, and then I don't care for Chelsea Green. Personally, I don't like her character. And I
she's
definitely do not.
Diva. We need divas.
I definitely don't like her service or whatever they're called.
The Secret Hervis?
Secret Hervis. They can get the step.
They can. Yeah, Piper Niven's.
I say you hot potato this. Let Michin win it a couple times. Let Chelsea win it back. But you gotta start calling up some NXT people at least.
Yeah, they're definitely scared because it's risky to hot potato, because then it's just not as serious if you hot potato it, So they're definitely trying to play it safe.
Yeah. What do we have next? Because that's like when it was.
Yeah, that's kind of. But we have a return. Probably my favorite will be my favorite return of the year. Probably one of my favorite returns of all time. Not the way it was executed, just the wrestler itself.
I was about to say his return was goofy as hell.
Yeah, man.
Just the wrestler itself. I thought the entrance was cool, but there's just no substance to it. I mean, it can lead to a match between Aleister Black and The Miz, or Aleister Black and Carmelo. Or Carmelo Hayes. Hey, The Miz still got it in the ring.
Aleister Black keeps getting done so dirty, and then you finally the same thing with Rusev. He got done so dirty under Vince, and he goes to AEW and gets done dirty under Tony Khan. Then comes back and gets put. They saved Rusev. We'll talk about it this week. But Aleister Black against The Miz for what? What are we running that back for? The Miz is not he's great on the mic, but he's not a fantastic wrestler. You want to showcase Aleister Black, give him Carmelo Hayes. Hopefully that's where.
Well, that match, Miz and Aleister Black is already set for this week, but that's his debut match.
It'll be a squash.
Yeah, it's fine. Aleister Black's gonna win. It's his debut match, and then I think he should get into it with someone like Carmelo, because I think Carmelo obviously is at a good point in his career where, I think both Mike and in ring, just a good back and forth would help. But his return was just so goofy, like him just sitting in the middle of the ring.
Even hit right.
Oh man, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, that's what I was most looking forward to, and I was excited to talk to Joe about it, but they didn't do it right.
Yeah, it was
next week. But
imagine Austin Theory. Imagine Austin Theory taking a black match.
Oh, why is it?
Man, you gotta think about this. You're selling impressions there.
For sure.
Entrance was sick though. I thought it was cool. Next segment isn't really a segment, just backstage, something backstage, but I did want to touch on it a little bit. The R-Truth and John Cena segment. R-Truth, he doesn't think John Cena's a heel. He refuses to believe it. I think he's all R-Truth is us on the inside, man. Just still wanting to pull for Cena and still wanting to cheer for him. I'm bringing this up just to say, if John Cena touches R-Truth, we ride. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we ride for R-Truth.
Yeah, we're sliding for R-Truth just because he would do the same for us.
Maybe. Who knows?
And they say don't meet your idols, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
R-Truth is getting let down by his childhood hero, man. It's very sad to see.
Yeah.
Childhood hero. He was a performer at the same time.
No,
it was they were co-workers. They were co-workers.
R-Truth grew up watching John Cena.
Bro.
You got to think about Lil Jimmy.
True. Lil Jimmy.
And whatnot. So, but next up we have the main event. Okay, the ladder match.
Don't understand this wasn't on WrestleMania. I had no idea.
5 stars, I would say so. For a lot of kids, this is gonna be their ladder match.
They're WrestleMania 17.
Yep.
Joe, did you guys not Joe? Alex, did you guys have like a standout TLC tag team match like that you can remember?
Yeah, it was the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, Edge and
but that was even a little bit before us. When I started watching, I was
no
tape.
For me, it was more of a Usos versus New Day Hell in a Cell match.
Hell in a Cell match.
That was we under Vince towards the later years. We didn't really get ladder matches with multi-man ladder matches with tag teams.
This one was fire.
This one was fire.
We got
Spots were fire.
I remember we had the Hardy Boys versus Eminem was pretty good.
Yeah.
Mercury and Morrison until his nose exploded.
Yeah. This match was correct winners for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Keep it running until Fraxium. Yeah, I agree.
Montez Ford. It's just he's ridiculous, dude.
Using the prosthetic leg.
Don't break them up yet, though. Don't break them up yet.
Oh no. I can't see the Street Profits break up.
The using the prosthetic leg, that was fun. Good viral moment. The spots were good. I thought people were making a big thing over the the other half of Street Profits.
Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo's spear off of who took the spear? Who was up there?
It took too long to set up.
Ciampa?
Yeah.
Was it Tommaso?
No. It took too long to set up.
It did take too long to set up. And it wasn't as clean as Edge's off Jeff. It wasn't as clean.
Because that was natural in the flow of the match. We
they
talked about it during the Tower of Doom. Spots like that ruin it for me. But it didn't ruin the match. I will say
it didn't ruin the match. I did feel like that he was waiting a little long on the ladder though.
He was waiting long hanging off of the thing.
Yeah.
Any sane person would have jumped off when they put the table under him.
For sure.
But yeah, not much to say about the match because that's what it was. Just correct winners and just a really good match. So
really good.
SmackDown, I think I really loved that SmackDown. I think it was one of the best of the year.
Great call making that match commercial free, by the way.
Oh, that dude saved it.
Yeah.
Saved it.
For sure. Definitely. Moving on to Raw. We start off hot. No pun intended, with the Burn It Down. Seth Rollins.
Burn it down. That's so sick.
It's so good. And singing a song is just, and then it's like half the crowd singing a song, half the crowd's barking, and it's just,
It's the best.
It's amazing.
It's such a beautiful mix.
We get to see Braun Breaker in a suit, corporate Braun Breaker.
Bro, did y'all see the spray tan he had on?
Yeah.
Y'all noticed, dude? I like, it was so stark, bro. Like it was like
he's notorious for that.
But it was so jarring. Him in the suit, and his face was like dang near black.
It's like Triple H's suit.
Yeah.
Yes, but like it was, dude. It looked like he just sprayed bronzer.
I'm gonna send you a picture of Triple H. You're gonna be pretty in shock.
It was just very like loud, but he looked good in the suit. I'm a Braun Breaker guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Braun Breaker guy for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I love how he's playing this silent killer in the background, just ready to. Well, are we gonna talk about the main event of Raw now? Since we're kind of talking about
we could. They're definitely using Braun Breaker as like that dog on the leash. That's just like.
And it was so cold. As soon as Sami Zayn said no, like without even an instant,
he stepped in the ring.
I'm like, yo. And
it's like,
he was waiting. He was like saying, like he was itching, like say no, see what happens.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah, it's so.
And then you kind of knew what Seth was gonna do because it was literally no, and then you see Seth, he's like, and then the sirens go off,
and it was a squash.
Yeah,
it had to be. It had to be a squash.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Bro,
we need more of that. We need more. I hope for the next couple matches, because Sami Zayn is a guy that you don't think would lose in that sense. He destroyed Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sami usually is like the underdog and he comes back, but Sami might be written off again for a couple more weeks for what Breaker did.
Sami Zayn.
Did anybody think he was going to SmackDown?
No.
Sami Zayn, no.
Yeah, no. I don't think anybody really thought they would.
And all right, can we talk about how dumb some of these wrestlers are in kayfabe? You're gonna stay there and you know Braun Breaker's gonna destroy you, or you're gonna go feud with John Cena on his retirement tour, make millions of dollars just because Seth Rollins told you you're not gonna do it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Kayfabe matters. Some of these wrestlers, like that offer is almost unturndownable. Like you have to take that.
For sure.
Yeah, and I would have loved to see Sami on SmackDown. Actually,
a little part of me thought he would do it, but
yeah, kind of wanted.
But you know, Sami's the ultimate say no to the bad guy. You know,
he's the ultimate idiot.
He's the ultimate what?
The ultimate idiot.
Yeah. It's just. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but yeah, I want you to make this group, and they need to establish a name so we can. I mean, everybody's
a third person also.
Yes,
I hope so.
We need one more, and it has to be Ethan Page.
But here's the thing, though. You don't think that I was thinking about this last night? Don't you think that it's gonna create a power vacuum? Seth Rollins is a world heavyweight champion. Braun Breaker just lost his Intercontinental Championship, so he doesn't want the Intercontinental Championship. He's a world heavyweight champion. Now you have two. You're gonna add a third star guy?
No, yeah, Ethan Page. He can be a mid carder.
Yeah, you add a mid carder.
Ethan Page.
So now what does that do for Braun? Now you have a mid carder. Now you have Seth at the World Championship. What does that do for Braun?
Braun is on his way up. Braun is definitely on his way up.
Like it's the Triple H rivalry where he kind of has to bow down a little bit, where you know he's better, and then eventually we get
exactly
almost
after this is all said and done, the dust settles in this little faction. Braun Breaker is gonna emerge as a world title contender.
Yeah,
kind of guy.
And
maybe he wins a Rumble.
Maybe Braun being in this faction is like, I don't think he takes a pin for a year plus, dude. He's not going to take a pin unless they're in Seth and Braun are in a tag match and they have to lose, which I don't see them losing in a tag match. But let's say they're like going against the Avengers and they have to lose, then I see Braun taking a pin. But aside from that, Braun is this bruiser that Seth will just he just takes the leash off and he's gonna bite your kneecaps.
It's literal attack dog.
Yes, literal canine.
It's just, dude, this is so fun. And it's like, I usually hate these factions, but like I am like a big I'm with it.
Yeah.
Because I honestly like
three people.
I know it's a joke, not a joke, but I know it's like Seth is like a visionary, right? It's like his whole little thing. I see the vision that he is casting,
Yeah.
and I'm for it. I want to live in a world that Seth Rollins creates, because I see the vision that he's casting, and I'm with it, dude. And I like who he's bringing along.
For
you
sure.
know what I was thinking last night? I think the crowd might officially be healed. Like the WWE universe might be healed because Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker destroyed Sami Zayn. And what was the closing shot of the night?
One more time.
Yeah.
One more spear. Sami Zayn is dead. For one more spear. Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp. They all line up together, and the closing shot is them singing this man's song. The crowd turned heel. The crowd is officially healed.
Honestly,
John Cena was right about everybody. John Cena's right about all of us.
How do you think Sami feels, man? Like you're Sami. You're trying to be in kayfabe. Like you're getting helped out by the security. You hear one more time. Like, I'm breaking.
WWE didn't expect the crowd to react like that. Seth Rollins is gonna be one of those cases where he's just so good at being a heel that you can't
undeniable.
Help but to cheer for them. You can't help but to cheer for them.
They need to add another member.
I will not boo Braun Breaker personally.
I won't. I honestly, if it's gonna be hard for me to root against Braun Breaker, I'm just such a Braun Breaker guy. I love it.
So what should WWE just play into the crowd being a heel at this point because they're taking over the Braun Cody? Like I genuinely think that if the crowd is a character, how a lot of people say, officially this last year the crowd has for the first time ever turned heel.
Yeah.
We no longer cheer the good guys. Yeah, no, I'm for it. But it was kind of surprising seeing Sami Zayn get beat up and then chanting for them to keep going to beat him up.
I know they need to add one more member, and I'm very curious at who, and very excited for them to add that. That being said, though,
There's 2 names.
Real quick, Sami was kind of spitting facts, though. The fact that, like, when he said, like, you know, the 2 things that you hated about Roman and CM Punk, right? What do they have in common? The dude that's right over your shoulder. And he's like, that, like, he is the reason that Roman Reigns and CM Punk were the way that they were and why you hated them so much. And Paul Heyman is going to do that to you. I was like, not going to lie. Tell me when he's lying, because Sami Zayn is kind of spitting facts here, but at the same time, I don't really care. I'm still on this Evolution 2.0 side.
It's gonna be a problem.
They need a name though. They need to name the faction.
John, they're cheering Seth.
Yeah, they need to name the faction, or else everybody's gonna call it Evolution 2.0, which is fine. But I want them to establish a name.
Yeah,
it's a faction. Really
hoping it's Ethan Page.
It's 100% a faction.
Or Austin Theory.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I wouldn't mind Austin Theory.
That's what I hear is Austin Theory, but he's still an A-Town down. I can't see him. I don't know.
So you make it brutal. Everybody expects Austin Theory to be the face when him and Grayson Waller break up, but you turn that against him. You have Braun Breaker come out, help Austin Theory. They destroy Grayson Waller. Now you just turned Austin Theory heel, and now you got a sympathetic babyface in Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller is a babyface?
If he gets destroyed by Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, I think he can come back and play the babyface. He can. He just doesn't
I think it's tough. But definitely possible. Next segment, though. We went pretty
bring
deep.
them both in. Why not? Evolution had 4 members. Now you have a tag team. Now you have a tag team. You have an Intercontinental Champion and a World Heavyweight Champion. You don't have to bring them in alone.
That's fair.
That is true.
Remember, Ric Flair and Batista were tag team champions in Evolution.
Rhea Ripley and Roxanne Perez match. Interrupted by
match.
Julia. It was a great match. I think
hooping,
Raw has done a bad job with NXT call-ups. And I don't know if Roxanne's officially on Raw now. I don't know. I'm not sure what that's
2 weeks in a row. I like the little invasion, though.
Yeah.
I love little invasion storylines.
It's supposed to be Cora Jade and Julia's spot, though. You can kind of tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to Cora Jade?
What happened, Joe? What happened to Cora Jade?
What happened to Cora Jade?
She got injured.
Again. It might be wraps. But
so no, she was supposed to be obviously in this Julia position. Her and Roxanne, they've had the the connection for a while, the heel turns and the reunion. So I feel like her character, what we're trying to say is her character fit this more than Julia would, because she's that rebellious character, like come in and take her spot, sit around and wait for it. But Julia's a way better wrestler than her. I just think for the fit, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah, but Julia can play babyface. She's so versatile that, but I can't hate Julia. I think Julia's so good. But Io Sky comes out, makes a save. You think this is a tag match?
Oh, it's got to be a tag match, 100%.
At Backlash?
What are we doing with Stephanie though? Like is
About
Stephanie
care?
I
gonna?
don't know. She's kind of just.
I think is she not called? I guess she's still NXT champion, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
I think they're testing it out. I think she's coming up very soon.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Which we need.
She was on this last Raw, right?
She's 2 weeks in a row. She went Io Sky last week.
Took her away from this angle, did they not?
Huh?
Yeah. She wasn't here. She had a match with
Io Sky.
With Ivy Nile.
Yeah, Ivy now
this week. Yeah, Ivy now this week. Yeah. And yeah, I knew she was gonna clap Ivy.
Yeah.
I mean, Stephanie really showed last night how much differently she moves than all the other women wrestlers.
For sure.
Other than Io Sky. Like, there was certain moves. I can't remember specifically what move it was, but it was some sort of like rope move, not top rope like this.
Oh, and she like jumped from the.
Yeah, she's so different, bro. She's amazing.
Yeah,
but
she's dope.
It was a cool segment. I think it's gonna set up for Backlash. Be a fun
What,
match.
a tag team match, or you think they?
Yeah, I think it's a tag match. I wouldn't mind seeing Rhea and Io together for like a match.
But
you see, I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, on B pay-per-views I get it, but having the world champion or like your mid-card champion compete in like tag team matches, that's gonna halt the division.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you're taking her number one contender, and you're also putting her.
And you have literally every star in the division in this match, because Bianca's gone, so now you're putting Julia and
that's probably why they're doing
and
this.
Io and Rhea. Then that's literally all her contenders. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. So was cool. It was a fun segment. Next we had, was it Jey and Logan Paul?
Yeah, that's sure.
Typical heel, typical underdog babyface.
It's just I don't know if I'm really sold on Logan. I don't know. I want to like Logan a lot, but I'm just not really. Yeah, it's just like I don't know.
Is it repetitive?
Yeah, I think it's starting to get a little bit to that point.
Just cocky, just arrogant.
They keep calling him the YouTuber.
Yeah, and it's like I get it, but like I want to see more versatility with his heel stuff. Like all he does, like he just keeps like answering the crowd.
Is it crazy to think that he might beat Jey Uso?
Bro,
he could, but he won't on a B tier pay-per-view. I feel like if they wanted to put it on Logan Paul, they would do it on a pay-per-view that would have more eyes. And if they wanted to put it on Logan Paul, I feel like they would have Logan Paul advertise the match like crazy.
Which he is. That's what I was gonna get at. Have you guys been watching his vlogs? He has WWE vlogs every week now.
I know. I actually do like. I do enjoy watching those every Wednesday.
Yeah, they're super fire. It bring you into backstage. It's doing millions of views.
For sure.
Everything he does gets millions of views. Why not put the world champion on?
But I'm talking about the feud. Like, I mean, and we still have time
currently. I mean, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Jey Uso's the most popular guy on the over guy with the crowd. Logan Paul's the least over guy with the crowd. So you're gonna get that overwhelming support for Jey, and you're gonna get that overwhelming hate for Logan. Logan's not gonna. We're gonna get this out of the way now. When's Backlash? 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2.
Logan Paul will not be able to cut a promo. It will be impossible against Jey Uso. The crowd will not allow him. It will be impossible. Jey Uso, I don't know how he does it. Whatever he says, that crowd goes insane. Whatever this man says, that he literally just went, and the whole arena exploded.
Yeah, facts.
It's he has motion, but don't expect too much from this build. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a decent match with a decent build, putting us over to the next pay-per-view. I wouldn't hate it if they switched hands. It's 99% not gonna happen. They're gonna let Jey Uso run for a little bit. I wouldn't hate it if Logan Paul won, even if it's just to have Jey Uso beat him again next month or whatever it is.
I wouldn't mind Logan
But,
holding the title. I think it'd bring like just a lot of eyes. Him
absolutely.
him
Like it did to
stunting
the
on
US
it in
title.
public, like him bringing it out and on social media and flexing on it and stuff. But he can't
Even
hold.
every impulsive
But if
episode,
Jay
he's holding the
if
belt.
Jay's gonna lose it, then Logan can't hold it for a long time either.
No,
He's
yeah,
got to
they
lose
gotta
it. He's got to
flip-flop,
lose it
I
in like a
said.
month or whatever,
Yeah,
month or two.
for sure. But next segment, I think it was Becky and Lyra, which I loved. I loved the Becky and Lyra
Dude,
segment.
listen. I don't remember Becky. I don't remember Becky when I was watching. I don't remember.
She wasn't around.
She wasn't around. Listen, I since she made the return, right? I heard them calling her the man. I thought like, okay, she's built. You know, she's moving, strong. Bro, the moment she opened her mouth on that mic, bro, I said that. Not gonna lie, that nickname's messed up. That she sounds like a man.
That's my goat though, man. Wait till you see her in the ring.
Yeah,
she's cool.
I don't know. I'm not.
I'm not excited for this match.
I like.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's to bring prestige to that belt. Same with the women's U.S. title. It's cute to give everybody else an opportunity, but at the end of the day, when you look back at the men's Intercontinental Championship, that's a belt that Shawn Michaels held. That's a belt that Randy Orton held. Chris Jericho, Edge, bunch of names. You just need to build that prestige if it's gonna make people want to go after that belt.
For sure.
Right now, it's realistically, Alex, the WWE Championship you and me have, and the women's U.S. Championship on TV. There's not many different holders.
Don't say that.
There's been more holders for my championship.
No, my belt
like
is
3 champions.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the match will be fine. I think Lyra's great in the ring.
Yeah,
I think the storyline of Becky being Lyra's mentor. They fought in NXT, which I completely forgot. Becky had a late NXT run like last year or 2 years ago, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I can see Becky winning. I think Lyra's held the title a good amount of time to where it can flip flop. Becky can win, and then next defense Lyra can get it back, and then maybe Becky can move to SmackDown later on in the year, win the U.S. title. Becky becomes the first Grand Slam champion. I would love that. I would love if Becky Lynch was the first women's Grand Slam champion. So that could be sick.
She will be.
That would be very sick. But yeah, there's not much else to really go about. I mean, I'll look at my notes. Rusev had a pretty cool backstage promo.
Yeah,
they saved it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. War Raiders and Judgment Day had a match. Penta interfered.
Yeah, just getting his get back from last week.
Yeah, so
Penta.
It was nice to see.
I will say,
Penta and JD next week will be good.
By name, the Lucha Brothers.
Oh yeah, with Ray Phoenix.
He brought it up to Chad Gable.
Yeah. To Chad Gable, yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice to see JD McDonough back in the ring. I thought he did good.
Yeah, I thought he did good too. Looked good.
But that's basically it for Raw. Should we just catapult into our last and final segment?
Yeah. So before we wrap up, let's start a new reoccurring segment here. Let's give our power rankings. This is something we can revisit either after every pay-per-view, once a month, every once in a while, just whenever we want, really, where we can revisit our power rankings. All of us wrote down 5 WWE superstars that is in our personal power rankings, our personal top 5 favorite wrestlers. And so we're going to go one by one. We're going to start at number 5, and then we're going to go up to number 1, and then we'll wrap it up for the night.
5 or our honorable mentions?
I don't have any honorable mentions, so we're starting at 5.
Do you, Alex?
I have 3 honorable mentions.
I
won't give detail.
We'll start at 5.
I won't give detail.
Starting at 5.
Okay.
Starting at 5. Your honorable mentions, maybe they'll make the list next time. Okay. But this list is your top 5, not your top 7. So number 5, Alex, who do you got?
Right here, I have I'm plugging in the Street Profits right here.
Okay.
A little bit questionable, but that match was I couldn't leave a tag team off the list based off that match last Friday. Thought it was great. Street Profits have been putting on banger after banger, been defending the title consistently. I think they're really going like under the radar, and by the end of the decade, they can be a sneaky like one of the best tag teams of all time. If they keep retaining or if they keep winning back the title, if they have a super long reign, we can put them in the. If they never break up, of course, 'cause I know a lot of people want them on to a singles run. We can put them in the Usos, New Day, maybe. Even though some people see the Usos as the best tag team of all time, I don't. But I like the Street Profits here, especially Montez Ford.
Yeah. Number 5, I've got Jacob Fatu. I think like this is a good spot for him.
Know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Just because I love him on the mic, I think he is a freak of nature in the ring. I just think a guy that size to be able to do what he does is insane. And I'm like, this is good because he's number 5 because I think he's like on the up and up. And so, based off what we've seen so far, this is a good spot because based off where we go with him, I think he could shoot up my list. And so I like him at this nice number 5, holding it down. Very much could jump in the coming weeks. So.
All right, I like that. But at my 5, I got Jacob Fatu as well. Open
Hey.
zone, baby. You know what I mean?
You know what I
He's
mean?
just been he's fantastic. He's gonna do great things in that division. The Solo Sikoa feud is more than definitely gonna shoot him up the rankings. More than likely next time we have one of these ranking segments, he'll more than likely be 2 or 3. I would.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
We'll give him 5 now.
Yeah. I'll kick off number 4. I've got a tie. I know, whatever. But Alex put a tag team, so that's like 2 guys. So take this as that. Number 4, I've got Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. They are just my 1A, 1B. They are my favorite. They are my favorite women's WWE superstars. So I just really enjoy them. I think are there better people in the ring? Sure. Are there better people on the mic at times? Sure. But all in all, I love Rhea Ripley's just like dominance. I love her entrance. I love her fit. I'm a fan. And then Liv Morgan, I think she's a great heel. Probably one of the best women's heels I've ever seen. And I really enjoy her in the ring as well. So I think she's great.
All right, at number 4, I got this is more for the crowd. This is for how over he is. You got to give him his flowers. The World Heavyweight Champion. Opening match, Jey Uso. You got to give him his flowers where they're due, man. The way he controls that crowd is bar none. He's solid at 4. I had him as an honorable mention. I've brought him up. It was between him and Dom to make this list at number 4, but I had to give Jay the spot with how over he is with the crowd.
That's fair.
That's good. That's a good pick. At my 4th spot, I got Io Sky.
Yeah.
Considering that this is like a monthly power rankings, I think in the month of April, she just did a very solid job in the whole build of WrestleMania. And actually at WrestleMania, she killed it. So. And I just love Io Sky in the ring. This might just be a little biased, but
for sure.
At my 4th spot, I'm definitely sticking Io Sky in there.
Yeah. Juan, what'd you got at 3?
3, I got Io Sky, man.
Yep.
You guys will see why shortly, but 5-star match at WrestleMania. The winner of that match, consistently every week, she's showing why I was kind of on the fence, I will say, and now with a straight face. There's not a single woman in that division that can go with her in the ring. She's the best women's wrestler in the world.
It's fair.
The way she moves, it's just she should have been higher on my list.
Yeah.
We'll take her at 3. You'll see.
Yeah. And initially I would have had her in my 3 spot, and the person I'm gonna say that's at my 3 spot was at my 4. But I decided to flip them last second. At my 3 spot I had Braun Breaker. Love him. Went from having a 4 or 5-star match, depending on who you ask, at Mania, to the next night, and losing his Intercontinental title to next night being in the main event. So didn't really lose at WrestleMania, if you ask me.
Yeah.
He didn't even get pinned.
Yeah. So, and he killed that Mania. I thought he was the MVP of that match. I
Fair.
thought he did great, and the whole build. This guy's just he's a beast. He's a force.
Yeah. At my number 3, I've got Randy Orton. I think this is considering his legacy as well, and just what he means, like one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But also, like, I think the build up to Mania, even though it looked a little different because of the KO injury, like the whole him starting to hear voices, the Punk kick setup, even though we didn't get the payoff, right, which is out of his control. I do not blame him. It got me going. I was super juiced, super excited for that. And then I think what put him over and secured him on my list is now that we're going through and reliving with John Cena. So I get to see him in the ring with, his greatest rival of his career. And just I think what single-handedly what I'm thinking about is when John is lifting up the title, and in frame all you see is Randy Orton's head. Rear into frame, and he RKO's John Cena. So just right now, I love what they're doing with Randy. Obviously, like, this will probably change once his match with John Cena is all said and done, and we move on to the next. But right now, based off the build up that he had with Mania, which I thought was really good on his part, and then now the build up he's doing with John, I think he's solid at my 3 spot.
All right, now we are heading for the 2 spot here, and I'll kick us off. My 2 spot, I got what is it? What do they say? The never seen 17.
Damn, you stole my intro. Yeah.
Never
seen 17.
I got John Cena here. Just the month of April was the month of John Cena.
It's fair.
I guess it was the month of the number 1 guy. But just from winning at Mania, even though the main event was a little lackluster, the Raw after Mania, looking at the ring announcer, you pull him over, giving him the note card, there's all that, and then
in front of him.
Yeah, just this feud that he's gonna do. The way he wears the belt, it's just a little stuff.
Carrying the belt on his back.
Mm-hmm.
I love
his
that.
whole career.
I love that. I think that's amazing. So I got Cena there on my 2 spot.
I'm gonna just jump in really quick because I don't have much to say. You hit it all on the head. I got Cena at 2 for all the same reasons. Never seen 17. Everything he's doing now, you hit it all on the head.
Yeah, fair enough. John Cena's not on my list.
Really?
Yeah. So this is I think what hurts me and why he's not is just it's kind of like sad to like watch him in the ring. He's just not moving like how I how I remember him. He just can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just so. It's just sad. It's just like, oh man, like he used to be, and I know he infamously gets like he can't wrestle. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. He was one of the most exhilarating people in the ring as a kid growing up. It was always electric watching him overcome, getting beat up during the match, whatever. But I digress. Number 2, I have Seth freaking Rollins at number 2. This, like I said, I kind of like have said already recently that his match at WrestleMania really put him up for me. The build up to that WrestleMania match really, like, I was starting to become a Seth guy. Like I said, I see the vision he's casting. I love what he's like, the direction his character's going in, where he's trying to bring the company. I love that he, obviously all the strings he pulled to get the outcome of the WrestleMania match. Now he's leading up, one of the most exciting parts of, where we're going here in the future with this faction. He's spearheading that, obviously. I just am really enjoying Seth Rollins. And then I just think the curb stomp is just such a freaking cool move.
Yeah. Joe, do you want to?
You had him at 2.
Huh?
Oh yeah. Why'd you have him at 2? I think I can speak for me and Juan. Is he at our 1, Juan? Is he at our 1?
We'll get to it.
Oh, I was about to say.
All
yeah, I got it. Listen, I'm just saying. Jay gave me a funny look at number 2. That was like, not that I was disrespectful, but that like I'm an idiot for even having him on my list. So if you have him at 1, that's great. But I have a reason. I have my 1 guy at 1. So
no, I get you. Let me kind of kick off one here.
Go ahead.
I feel like it's gonna be different. I kind of cheated a little bit. So for my number 1, I have we don't have a name for it, but they're a faction. I got Paul Heyman's Dangerous Alliance, like he used to call them in WCW.
Okay.
I couldn't pick between Seth and Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Seth coming out as being the leader of this, and just like we said, he basically just said the word, and Braun Breaker came out and snapped him in half. Braun Breaker came out looking like such a superstar with the all black and the spotlight just on him, like not even on his body, just on his face.
Yeah.
It looked like certain doom. I'm so excited for this faction, for the future of it. Paul Heyman behind them, Seth Rollins organizing it, Braun Breaker as the muscle man. They're probably gonna be number one for the next couple power rankings.
Yeah.
I'll keep them together unless something changes where one of them kind of is doing way better. But I got the Dangerous Alliance at number one.
Well,
the WCW.
In that case, with that being said, I'll give my number one because I think we're both excited to see who Joe has. I kind of already said mine. I have Seth Rollins. Carried the build for WrestleMania. Really just had us all thinking the night prior if Paul Heyman was going to turn, what Paul Heyman was going to do. Paul Heyman ends up turning. Seth's a mastermind. Next night, Raw after Mania, gets Braun Breaker on his side. Joe, you said it best. He's a visionary, you know. I'm not going to touch too much on this. Jay pretty much hit all the points here. But, yeah, this Dangerous Alliance might be number one of the power rankings for the next few.
That's fair.
Is that going to be our placeholder name for now, the WCW name?
Yeah.
Dangerous Alliance?
All right. I know everybody's dying here. Yo, you got Seth at 2, dog. You got us 1. And I think this is No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm just kidding. Not everyone. Got your ass, boy. It's Dominic Mysterio, baby.
Yeah,
this is a me pick. This is not. I'm not saying Dom's the best in the company or whatnot. This is like me personally. I love everything Dom stands for. I love that he is the perfect mix of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. And I love the swag that he has. I love the mullet, the mustache, the look. I love that, obviously, he's having his moment. He won the Intercontinental Championship. He's got the gold. He's got the, and he's, I loved his little segment on Raw where, Liv, obviously we didn't touch on this, Liv announcing that she's going to Hollywood. She's taking some time off, which I think is going to be interesting. And, Dom just sitting there like, I'm going to take some time off too. I'm a champion. Yeah, I get to go on vacation. But I just love every time Dom is on the, either we're backstage or he's in the ring. To me, he's just, fun to watch. He's exciting. Eddie Guerrero is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So it's like to see just a reincarnation of that, the Latino heat. To me, personally, it's just so fun to watch. So I had to put Dom. He was at number 2, and Seth was at 1, but I flipped it just because me personally, I am glued to the screen when Dom is on the screen. It's just me personally. So
honorable mention is your number 1. I like it.
Yeah, he was my honorable mention.
That's fair, and I'm glad he was.
I thought about it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, Fatu just barely made it over him.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, Fatu's cooking right now. Fatu is cooking. Yeah, I guess I didn't have John on my list, but at the same time, I'm thinking Dom over John right now. Me personally.
By a lot.
Me personally. Yeah.
So that was a fun segment. That was fun.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll update it. We'll come back every. Yeah, we'll give it some time. We gotta let our people kind of move in the power rankings, but we'll come back. We'll give our updated power rankings, maybe after Backlash, maybe maybe the next pay-per-view. Who knows? We'll sprinkle it in as we let some time pass in between. But without further ado, that's gonna be it for today's episode. Tune in next Tuesday or next Wednesday when we drop our next episode talking about this upcoming Friday Smackdown and next week's Monday Night Raw. Thanks for hanging out in the house with us today. Keep in mind, we are still covering Last of Us and Andor over on the House 1055 main channel. So go take a peek over there. go see what what we're talking about as far as Last of Us and Andor. NBA playoffs round 1 is kind of wrapping up. Some series are over, some are still going. Once the first round ends, then we will do a podcast recapping round 1 and then previewing round 2. So a lot going on in the house. Pipe Bombs here every week. We're talking about WWE. We're loving it. WWE is hot right now. So join us next week as we come back and talk about the new shows. All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace.